These 7 common fruits destroy muscle strength in your legs. Stop now, senior health. Good afternoon, dear friends. It's truly wonderful to see all of your bright faces here today. Thank you for taking time from your busy lives to join me as we explore something that affects each and every one of us as we journey through the golden years of life. You know, when I was growing up on my grandfather's farm, I remember watching him well into his later years. He would rise with the sun, work the fields, carry heavy loads, and never seem to slow down. His secret? Strong legs that carried him through decades of life with independence and dignity. Today, I want to talk about something that might surprise you, something hiding in plain sight in your kitchen fruit bowl. Yes, we're going to uncover how certain fruits, ones we've been told all our lives are healthy, might actually be sabotaging the strength in your legs. Now, before we begin, I want you to know that this isn't about fear. This is about empowerment. Knowledge that will help you make better choices for your body, especially for maintaining the strength and stability that keeps you moving freely, confidently, and independently. Think about your typical day. Getting up from your favorite chair. Climbing those stairs at home. Walking through the grocery store. Taking your grandchildren to the park. All of these precious moments of life depend on one thing: the strength in your legs. But what if I told you that some of the fruits you're eating, perhaps even daily, could be gradually weakening those very legs you depend on? It might sound hard to believe. After all, fruits are nature's gift, packed with vitamins and natural goodness. And yes, many fruits are indeed wonderful for your overall health. However, nature works in mysterious ways. What nourishes one part of our body might challenge another. And as we mature in years, our bodies change. They process foods differently. They respond to nutrients in new ways. What worked for us in our youth might not serve us well now. I remember meeting Eleanor, a vibrant woman who, at the age of 72, suddenly found herself struggling to get up from her garden bench, something she'd done effortlessly her entire life. After making a few simple changes to her diet, specifically eliminating certain fruits we'll discuss today, she regained the spring in her step within just weeks. Stories like Eleanor's aren't unusual. They're happening everywhere, but few are connecting the dots between certain fruits and declining leg strength. Today, we'll make those connections together. In the next half hour, we'll explore not just which fruits might be weakening your legs, but why this happens, what you can eat instead, and how to build a comprehensive approach to maintaining strong, reliable legs that carry you through a life of independence and joy. You've lived a life gathering wisdom, raising families, building careers, nurturing communities. Now it's time to apply some new wisdom to nurturing yourself, so you can continue to live life on your terms, with the mobility and independence you deserve. So settle in, open your mind to some surprising information, and let's begin this journey towards stronger legs and a more vibrant life. Because the path to renewed strength might be as simple as rethinking what you put in your fruit salad tomorrow morning. Let's talk about why we're focusing specifically on your legs today. You see, our legs are the foundation of our independence. They're not just limbs, they're the pillars of our freedom, our social life, and even our emotional well-being. Imagine your body as a magnificent old oak tree. The legs are like the roots, often overlooked, yet they provide stability, nourishment, and determine how tall and strong the entire tree stands. When those roots weaken, even slightly, the entire oak becomes vulnerable to the gentlest breeze. I once met a gentleman named Thomas who had been an avid ballroom dancer his entire life. Dancing wasn't just his hobby, it was how he connected with others, expressed joy, and stayed active. As his leg strength gradually diminished, so did his ability to dance. But it wasn't just dancing he lost. His world became smaller. Social gatherings became challenging. His confidence waned. What started as muscle weakness in his legs rippled through every aspect of his life. This is why leg strength isn't merely about physical capability, it's about preserving the fullness of your life experience. When your legs are strong, every movement becomes effortless. Standing up from a chair. Walking to get your mail. Climbing stairs to visit a friend living on the second floor. Boarding a bus to attend a community event. Shopping for groceries. Playing with grandchildren. These seemingly simple activities are the threads that weave the tapestry of a rich, connected life. But there's something even more fundamental at stake here: your safety. Falls represent one of the most serious health risks as we age. A single fall can trigger a cascade of complications that might alter your life permanently. The stunning truth is that most falls aren't inevitable accidents, they're often the result of gradually weakening leg muscles that failed to support you in a moment of need. Your leg muscles work like loyal guardians, making thousands of micro adjustments every day to keep you balanced on uneven sidewalks, slippery floors, or when you're reaching for something on a high shelf. When these muscles weaken, those protective adjustments become slower and less effective. But here's the wonderful news: unlike many aspects of aging, muscle strength is something you can rebuild, maintain, and even improve, regardless of your current age or condition. I've seen people in their 90s make remarkable gains in leg strength with the right approach. There's Martha, who at 84 found herself using a walker after a minor fall. After discovering that certain dietary choices were weakening her leg muscles and making simple changes, she progressed to a cane within months. 6 months later, she walked unassisted to her granddaughter's wedding. Or consider Robert, who at 78 couldn't stand long enough to cook a meal. After eliminating the problematic fruits we'll discuss today and adopting some simple strengthening practices, he now prepares elaborate Sunday dinners for his entire family. Your body has an extraordinary capacity to heal and strengthen at any age. But it needs the right conditions to do so. It needs proper nutrition. It needs movement. And critically, it needs you to eliminate factors that are silently working against your muscle strength. The connection between certain fruits and leg weakness might seem surprising at first. After all, fruits are natural, generally healthy foods. But nature is complex, and not everything natural is beneficial for every part of your body, especially as your metabolism and digestive processes change with age. In the coming segments, we'll explore the science behind this connection. You'll learn exactly how specific compounds in certain popular fruits interact with your muscle tissues, affecting their strength and function. More importantly, you'll discover simple, practical alternatives that nourish rather than weaken your leg muscles. Because ultimately, strong legs aren't just about physical health, they're about maintaining your place in the world, staying connected to those you love, and continuing to live life on your own terms. Now let's dive into the fascinating science of how what you eat directly impacts the strength in your legs. I promise to keep this straightforward and practical, without getting lost in complex terminology. Think of your muscles as a magnificent old stone wall in the countryside. Over time, some stones naturally loosen and fall away. In youth, your body efficiently replaces these stones, keeping the wall strong and intact. But as we journey into our golden years, this replacement process slows down. The wall begins to lose more stones than it gains. Scientists call this natural process age-related muscle loss. But here's the crucial part: the speed of this process isn't fixed. It's dramatically influenced by what you eat. Certain foods accelerate the loosening of stones, while others provide the perfect mortar to keep them firmly in place. Your leg muscles are especially vulnerable to these dietary influences. Why? Because they're the workhorses of your body. They bear your weight, support your movements, and rarely get a complete rest. This makes them particularly sensitive to what's circulating in your bloodstream after each meal. Let me share what happens in your body when you eat. Food isn't simply fuel, it's information. Every bite sends chemical messages throughout your body, instructing various systems to perform specific actions. Some foods tell your muscles to grow stronger. Others, unfortunately, signal your muscles to break down. The relationship between fruits and muscle strength hinges on several key factors: inflammation, blood sugar fluctuations, and certain natural compounds that can interfere with muscle function. Inflammation is like a slow-burning fire in your body. A little is necessary for healing, but too much gradually damages your muscles. Certain fruits, despite their vitamins, contain compounds that stoke this inflammatory fire, especially in mature bodies that have become more sensitive over time. Then there's the matter of blood sugar. When you eat fruits high in certain types of sugars, your blood sugar can rise sharply, followed by a dramatic drop. This roller coaster effect triggers stress hormones that, over time, can contribute to muscle weakening. It's like repeatedly flooding and draining a garden. Eventually, even the hardiest plants suffer. I remember working with Claire, a former hiking enthusiast who couldn't understand why her legs had grown so weak that even short walks exhausted her. Her diet was seemingly healthy, lots of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. But when we examined her fruit choices more carefully, we discovered she was consuming large amounts of the very fruits that promote muscle weakness. Within weeks of changing just this one aspect of her diet, she reported feeling strength returning to her legs. Your mature body also processes certain natural plant compounds differently than it did in your youth. Some fruits contain substances that, while generally beneficial for other aspects of health, can interfere with the signals that tell your muscles to maintain their strength and size. It's as if these compounds are accidentally switching off the lights in a room where important work needs to be done. Protein absorption and utilization, crucial for muscle maintenance, can also be affected by certain fruits in your diet. Your muscles need a steady supply of protein building blocks, but some fruits contain elements that can bind to proteins, making them less available to your hungry muscles. And here's something few people realize: the acid-alkaline balance in your body significantly impacts muscle function. Some fruits, despite their initial tartness, create an acidic environment in your body after digestion. This acidity can gradually draw minerals from your muscles, weakening their contracting power, like slowly removing the copper from electrical wiring, making the current weaker. What makes this particularly challenging is that these effects happen gradually, almost imperceptibly. You might not connect the bowl of fruit you enjoy each morning with the increasing difficulty you experience climbing stairs months later. But your body is keeping track, responding to every meal in ways that either support or undermine your leg strength. The good news is that understanding these connections gives you tremendous power. By making informed choices about which fruits you consume, you can shift the balance back toward muscle preservation and strength. You can provide your body with the precise information it needs to maintain strong, functional leg muscles well into your later years. In our next segments, we'll identify specifically which fruits are the culprits behind leg muscle weakness, explain exactly how they cause this damage, and introduce you to delicious alternatives that actually support muscle strength instead of diminishing it. Now we come to the heart of our discussion, identifying the specific fruits that could be quietly diminishing the strength in your legs. Let's begin with the first three culprits that commonly find their way into our shopping carts and fruit bowls, often praised for their health benefits while secretly undermining our leg strength. The first fruit we need to discuss is bananas. Yes, those convenient, seemingly innocent yellow fruits that have long been recommended for their potassium content. While potassium is indeed beneficial for muscle function, bananas present a particular challenge for mature muscles due to their specific sugar profile. Bananas contain a high concentration of quickly absorbed sugars that can trigger rapid insulin spikes. For muscles in more mature bodies, these insulin fluctuations can interfere with the delicate process of muscle protein synthesis, the very process your legs depend on to maintain their strength. It's like trying to build a brick wall while someone keeps changing the consistency of your mortar, the structure simply can't form properly. I worked with Harold, a retired mail carrier who had walked miles daily for decades. In retirement, he maintained a seemingly healthy diet including a daily banana with breakfast. Yet he found himself increasingly struggling with leg weakness. When he substituted his morning banana with berries, the difference was remarkable. Within just weeks, he reported that familiar strength returning to his legs. The second fruit that deserves caution is grapes. These sweet, juicy treats contain compounds called tartaric acids that can interfere with calcium absorption. Calcium is absolutely crucial for muscle contraction. Without sufficient calcium, the signal from your brain to your leg muscles becomes muffled, resulting in weaker contractions and diminished strength. Additionally, grapes, particularly red and purple varieties, contain natural compounds that can interact with certain medications commonly taken in later years. These interactions can amplify muscle weakening side effects that you might otherwise hardly notice. It's similar to how a whisper becomes audible in an echo chamber. The grapes essentially amplify the muscle weakening potential of these medications. Margaret, an avid gardener, couldn't understand why kneeling and standing had become increasingly difficult despite her active lifestyle. She enjoyed a large serving of grapes almost daily. When she reduced her grape consumption significantly, she noticed improved stability and strength within a month. The simple act of reaching down to pull weeds was no longer the struggle it had become. The third fruit we need to discuss might surprise you: oranges and other citrus fruits. Now, these vitamin C powerhouses are beneficial for many aspects of health, but they pose a specific challenge to leg muscles through their high acidity and particular sugar composition. The acidic nature of citrus fruits can contribute to an overall acidic internal environment. Your body, always striving for balance, will leach minerals from your muscles to neutralize this acidity. Over time, this mineral depletion weakens muscle contractions. Think of it as gradually diluting the fuel in your car. Eventually, the engine can't perform at full power. Furthermore, citrus fruits contain specific flavonoids that, while beneficial for heart health, can interfere with certain aspects of muscle metabolism in mature bodies. These flavonoids can bind to enzyme receptors that muscles use to process energy, essentially placing a small roadblock in your muscle's energy production pathway. James, who had always prided himself on his brisk walking pace, found himself slowing considerably despite maintaining his walking routine. His daily habit included a large glass of orange juice with breakfast and often an orange as an afternoon snack. After reducing his citrus consumption dramatically, he noticed his legs felt more energized and responsive during his walks. What makes these fruits particularly deceptive is that they're genuinely beneficial for other aspects of health. Bananas support heart health, grapes contain antioxidants, and oranges boost immune function. This is why eliminating leg weakness isn't about abandoning fruits altogether, it's about making strategic choices that specifically support leg muscle strength. Also worth noting is how these fruits affect your body differently now compared to your younger years. The metabolic processes that easily countered any muscle weakening effects in youth have changed. Your digestive system absorbs sugars differently. Your body's inflammatory response is shifted. Your muscle regeneration operates on a different timeline. These natural changes make your leg muscles more vulnerable to the specific compounds in these fruits. Most importantly, the effects of these fruits on your leg strength aren't immediate, they're cumulative. A single banana, a handful of grapes, or an orange won't cause noticeable weakness. But daily consumption over months and years creates a pattern that gradually diminishes the power in your legs. This slow progression explains why so many people never connect their fruit choices with their declining mobility and strength. In our next segment, we'll explore the remaining 4 fruits that can undermine leg strength, along with specific mechanisms that make them problematic for mature muscles. Then, we'll move on to delicious, beneficial alternatives that actually support and enhance your leg strength instead of diminishing it. Let's continue our exploration of fruits that may be silently diminishing your leg strength. The next 4 fruits on our list might be regular visitors to your kitchen, yet they deserve special attention when it comes to maintaining strong, reliable legs. The 4th fruit we need to discuss is pineapple. This tropical delight contains bromelain, an enzyme that breaks down proteins. While bromelain has anti-inflammatory benefits for some conditions, in mature bodies it can sometimes work too effectively on muscle tissues. Imagine bromelain as an overzealous gardener who prunes not just the dead branches but occasionally snips the healthy ones too. In your leg muscles, this can translate to excessive protein breakdown without adequate rebuilding. Additionally, pineapple's high natural sugar content combined with its acidity creates a double challenge for muscle strength. The sugar triggers insulin fluctuations while the acidity gradually alters the environment in which your muscles operate. Over time, this combination can contribute to diminished leg strength, particularly noticeable when climbing stairs or rising from low chairs. Dorothy, a community choir member, found herself struggling to stand through rehearsals despite having done so comfortably for years. Her daily fruit smoothie containing generous amounts of pineapple was contributing to her leg weakness. After switching to different fruits in her smoothie, she regained the ability to stand comfortably through entire performances. The 5th fruit on our list is watermelon. While wonderfully hydrating and low in calories, watermelon contains compounds called lycopenes that, in certain mature bodies, can interact with the nitric oxide pathways that regulate blood flow to muscles. Proper blood flow is essential for muscle strength and endurance. It delivers nutrients and removes waste products. When this flow is compromised even slightly, muscle performance declines. Watermelon also has an extremely high water content alongside its sugars, which can cause rapid fluctuations in electrolyte balance. Your leg muscles rely on precise electrolyte levels to contract properly. Think of electrolytes as the spark plugs in your car's engine. When they're not firing correctly, power diminishes noticeably. William, who enjoyed gardening, found bending and squatting increasingly difficult despite regular activity. His summer habit of consuming large amounts of watermelon was affecting his leg strength. When he moderated his watermelon intake and switched to more muscle-supporting fruits, he found new steadiness and power returning to his gardening movements. Our 6th fruit requiring caution is mangoes. These sweet tropical fruits contain unique natural compounds that can interact with digestive enzymes in mature systems. This interaction sometimes reduces the absorption of certain amino acids essential for muscle maintenance. It's like having all the building materials delivered to a construction site but missing the specific bolts needed to hold the framework together. Mangoes also contain a specific type of sugar that, in some people, can contribute to advanced glycation end products, aptly abbreviated as AGEs. These AGEs can accumulate in muscle tissue, gradually stiffening the fibers and reducing their contractile efficiency. Imagine trying to bend a fresh twig versus one that has dried out. The flexibility and function diminish significantly. Evelyn enjoyed daily mango as part of her breakfast routine. A former dance instructor, she couldn't understand why her leg strength and flexibility were declining despite stretching exercises. After reducing mangoes in her diet, she noticed improved muscle response and less stiffness when demonstrating dance moves to her grandchildren. The 7th fruit on our list is dried fruits, particularly dried apricots, dates, and raisins. While not a single type of fruit, these concentrated treats deserve mention because drying multiplies their sugar content dramatically while preserving certain compounds that can interfere with muscle function. The concentrated sugars in dried fruits can trigger pronounced insulin spikes that, in mature metabolisms, interfere with muscle protein synthesis. Additionally, many commercial dried fruits contain added sulfites as preservatives. These sulfites can disrupt the mitochondrial function in muscle cells, essentially impairing the power plants that generate energy for muscle contractions. Some dried fruits also contain oxalates, which can bind to minerals needed for proper muscle function. It's similar to having the right key for a lock but finding the keyhole partially blocked. the minerals are present but cannot fully perform their muscle supporting role. Richard, who had always enjoyed hiking local nature trails, found himself struggling with muscle fatigue despite his lifelong activity. His habit of packing dried fruits for energy on his walks was actually contributing to his leg weakness. Switching to fresh berries and nuts made a remarkable difference in his endurance and strength. What makes these 4 fruits particularly challenging to identify as culprits is their genuine health benefits. Pineapple offers digestive enzymes, watermelon provides hydration, mangoes deliver vital vitamins, and dried fruits offer convenient energy. This is why many people, even health-conscious individuals, never connect these fruits with their gradually diminishing leg strength. It's also worth noting that these fruits may affect you differently depending on when you consume them. Eating them after exercise, for instance, might amplify their muscle weakening effects because your leg muscles are particularly receptive to nutrients during recovery periods. Combining these fruits with certain other foods can either intensify or mitigate their effects on muscle strength. Most importantly, these fruits often hide in places you might not expect, in smoothies, breakfast cereals, baked goods, and even savory dishes like salads or meat accompaniments. This hidden consumption adds to the total load on your muscle systems without your awareness. In our next segment, we'll explore delicious and beneficial alternatives, fruits that actually support and enhance leg strength rather than diminish it. Then we'll build a comprehensive approach that goes beyond fruit choices to maximize the strength and reliability of your legs. Now that we've identified the fruits that may be secretly undermining your leg strength, let's turn our attention to something more uplifting, the wonderful fruits that can actually help build and maintain strong, resilient leg muscles. This isn't about deprivation, it's about making empowered choices that support your mobility and independence. Let's begin with a remarkable family of berries: blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, and raspberries. These colorful gems contain specific compounds called anthocyanins that have been shown to reduce muscle-damaging inflammation and oxidative stress. Think of oxidative stress as rust forming on metal; it gradually weakens the structure. Anthocyanins act like a protective coating, preventing this rusting of your muscle fibers. Berries also have a gentle effect on blood sugar compared to many other fruits. This steady approach means your muscles receive a consistent energy supply without the dramatic insulin spikes that can interfere with muscle maintenance. It's like providing a steady, reliable current to power your home rather than subjecting it to power surges and outages. Martha, who had struggled with leg weakness for years, began incorporating a handful of mixed berries into her daily breakfast. Within weeks, she noticed improved endurance when walking around her neighborhood. The stairs in her home, once a dreaded obstacle, became manageable again as her leg strength gradually improved. Another excellent choice is cherries, particularly tart cherries. These ruby-colored fruits contain powerful compounds that support muscle recovery and reduce inflammation specifically in muscle tissues. For active seniors, tart cherries can help the legs recover more quickly from exercise or daily activities, preserving strength for the next day's adventures. Cherries also contain natural melatonin, which supports healthy sleep patterns. Quality sleep is absolutely essential for muscle recovery and growth. It's during deep sleep that your body releases growth hormone and performs much of its repair work on muscle tissues. By improving sleep quality, cherries indirectly support stronger leg muscles. George, who enjoyed evening walks but found his legs increasingly sore the following mornings, began drinking a small glass of tart cherry juice daily. He soon noticed less soreness and more consistent leg strength throughout his week, allowing him to maintain his beloved walking routine. Kiwi fruit offers another excellent alternative for leg strength. These fuzzy little powerhouses contain an impressive array of enzymes that support protein digestion, ensuring your muscles receive the building blocks they need for maintenance and growth. Kiwis are also rich in vitamin C, which your body uses to create collagen, a critical component of the connective tissues that support your muscles. Perhaps most importantly for leg strength, kiwis contain a unique combination of minerals including potassium and magnesium in forms that are highly bioavailable to mature bodies. These minerals are essential for proper muscle contraction and nerve signaling. Without them, your brain's commands to your leg muscles become like a phone call with a poor connection. The message gets garbled and the response is weakened. Alice, who had noticed increasing difficulty standing from her favorite armchair, added kiwi to her daily fruit consumption. Within a month, she found herself rising more easily, with greater confidence in her leg strength and stability. Avocados, yes, they're technically fruits, deserve special mention for their remarkable muscle-supporting properties. These creamy delights provide healthy monounsaturated fats that help reduce the inflammatory processes that can break down muscle tissue. They're also rich in potassium, containing even more than bananas but without the rapid sugar absorption that makes bananas problematic for leg muscles. Avocados contain unique compounds that support mitochondrial health, the energy-producing structures within your muscle cells. Strong, efficient mitochondria mean better energy production in your leg muscles, translating to improved strength and endurance. It's like upgrading the power plant that supplies your home, everything runs more efficiently. Robert, who had found himself increasingly reliant on the handrail when climbing stairs, began incorporating half an avocado into his daily lunch. The improvement in his leg strength was gradual but unmistakable. Within months, he navigated stairs with renewed confidence and less dependence on supports. Papaya offers another excellent choice for supporting leg strength. This tropical fruit contains papain, an enzyme that helps break down proteins into forms your muscles can more easily use. Unlike the bromelain in pineapple, papain works more selectively and gently in mature bodies, supporting proper protein utilization without excessive breakdown of existing muscle tissue. Papayas also contain unique antioxidants that specifically target free radicals that damage muscle cell membranes. By preserving the integrity of these membranes, papaya helps maintain proper muscle function and responsiveness. It's similar to maintaining the insulation around electrical wiring. When the protection is intact, the signal travels efficiently. Helen had noticed her legs feeling increasingly heavy and difficult to lift when walking. After incorporating papaya into her diet several times weekly, she experienced a new lightness in her steps and improved endurance during her volunteer work at the local museum, which required hours of standing. Apples, particularly with their skins, provide pectin and specific polyphenols that support mitochondrial function in muscle cells. They also contain quercetin, a compound that helps reduce the inflammation specifically associated with age-related muscle loss. The fiber in apples also supports healthy digestion, ensuring optimal absorption of the nutrients your leg muscles need. The unique combination of nutrients in apples supports not just muscle strength but also the neural connections that control those muscles. As we age, maintaining these nerve-muscle connections becomes increasingly important for strength and coordination. Think of it as preserving both the quality of the muscle fibers themselves and the wiring that controls them. Frank, who had become frustrated with the weakness in his legs when gardening, began eating an apple daily as his afternoon snack. Over time, he found himself able to spend longer periods tending his beloved vegetable garden without the fatigue and weakness that had been limiting his enjoyment. What makes these alternative fruits particularly valuable is that they can be incorporated into your diet in countless delicious ways: fresh, in smoothies, as toppings for cereals or salads, or even in gentle cooking applications. Unlike the muscle-weakening fruits we discussed earlier, these alternatives can be combined in various ways to maximize their benefits. The key is consistency rather than quantity. Small, regular servings of these muscle-supporting fruits will provide more benefit than occasional large portions. Your body utilizes these nutrients most effectively when they arrive in reasonable amounts on a daily basis. In our next segment, we'll build upon these fruit choices to create a comprehensive approach to leg strength that includes optimal nutrition beyond fruits, gentle movement practices, and lifestyle factors that all work together to keep you strong, mobile, and independent. While making wise fruit choices is an important piece of the puzzle, true leg strength requires a comprehensive approach. Let's build upon our fruit knowledge to create a complete program that will keep your legs strong, responsive, and reliable for years to come. First, let's consider your overall nutrition beyond fruit choices. Your leg muscles need adequate protein to maintain and build strength. Think of protein as the lumber used to construct a house. Without sufficient quality materials, even the best builder cannot create a sturdy structure. For mature bodies, aim to include a palm-sized portion of quality protein at each meal. This could be eggs at breakfast, fish at lunch, poultry or plant proteins at dinner. The timing matters too. Spreading your protein intake throughout the day proves more effective than consuming most of it at one meal. It's like providing steady shipments of building materials rather than one large delivery that cannot all be used at once. Maggie, who had struggled with leg weakness despite regular walking, made a simple change to her eating pattern. Rather than having a light breakfast and lunch followed by a protein-rich dinner, she distributed protein evenly across all meals. Within weeks, she noticed improved endurance and strength in her daily activities. Alongside protein, your legs need adequate healthy fats. Omega-3 fatty acids in particular help reduce the low-grade inflammation that contributes to muscle weakness. Sources like small fatty fish, walnuts, and flax seeds provide these beneficial fats. Think of omega-3s as oil that keeps all the mechanical parts of your muscle machinery running smoothly. Hydration deserves special attention when discussing leg strength. Your muscles are roughly 70% water, and even mild dehydration can significantly impact their performance. Many people in their golden years experience diminished thirst sensation, making conscious hydration essential. Imagine trying to run a washing machine without enough water. The clothes become locked in position rather than moving freely. Your leg muscles respond similarly to inadequate hydration. James made a point of keeping a water bottle with him throughout the day, taking small sips regularly rather than waiting until thirst prompted him to drink. The improvement in his leg endurance during golf was noticeable within days. He could complete 18 holes with energy to spare when previously 9 holes left him exhausted. Now let's address movement, essential for maintaining leg strength at any age. The beauty of movement for leg strength is that it needn't be intense or exhausting to be effective. In fact, gentle, consistent movement often proves more beneficial than occasional intense exertion. Chair rises represent one of the most functional exercises for leg strength. Simply standing from a seated position engages all the major muscles in your legs in a natural, functional pattern. Begin with a higher, firmer chair and place your hands on the armrests if needed. As strength improves, try using a lower chair and eventually rising without using your hands. Aim for 5 to 10 rises, several times throughout your day. Catherine incorporated chair rises into her daily routine by simply standing up and sitting back down 5 times before leaving the table after each meal. This simple habit, requiring no special equipment or dedicated exercise time, gradually rebuilt strength that allowed her to navigate stairs with renewed confidence. Gentle walking, even short distances, provides another perfect leg strengthening activity. The key is consistency rather than distance or speed. A short walk taken daily will build more leg strength than an occasional long trek. Walking engages your muscles in their natural movement patterns while also supporting the circulation that delivers nutrients to those muscles. Wall slides offer another gentle yet effective movement for leg strength. Standing with your back against a wall, slide down just a few inches as if beginning to sit in an invisible chair, then return to standing. This movement strengthens the fronts of your thighs, crucial muscles for climbing stairs and rising from chairs. Start with small movements and gradually increase depth as comfort allows. Edward incorporated wall slides during television commercial breaks. These brief movement snacks, scattered throughout his evening, gradually rebuilt strength that allowed him to continue his volunteer work at the community garden, which required substantial time on his feet. Ankle strengthening deserves special attention, as these often neglected muscles provide crucial stability. While seated, simply tracing the alphabet with your foot, moving only at the ankle, strengthens these important stabilizing muscles. Strong ankles form the foundation upon which all leg strength is built. Sleep quality profoundly impacts muscle strength and recovery. During deep sleep, your body releases growth hormone that repairs and strengthens muscle tissue. Creating a consistent sleep schedule and environment, a cool, dark room with minimal distractions, supports this essential recovery process. Eleanor, who had always been active but found her leg strength diminishing, focused on improving her sleep quality by establishing a consistent bedtime routine and removing electronic devices from her bedroom. The improvement in her leg strength and endurance became evident within weeks. Stress management plays a surprisingly important role in maintaining leg strength. Chronic stress triggers the release of cortisol, which can accelerate muscle breakdown, particularly in the large muscles of the legs. Simple stress reduction practices, deep breathing, gentle stretching, enjoyable hobbies, connecting with loved ones, help preserve your precious muscle tissue. Mind-body practices like Tai Chi combine many beneficial elements for leg strength, gentle movement, balance challenges, stress reduction, and improved body awareness. These practices strengthen not just the muscles themselves but the neural pathways that control them, improving coordination alongside strength. Victoria joined a twice-weekly Tai Chi class at her community center. Beyond the physical benefits to her leg strength, she found the social connections and peaceful focus helped reduce the stress that had been contributing to her muscle tension and fatigue. Vitamin D deserves special mention in any discussion of leg strength. This crucial nutrient, which many mature bodies struggle to produce in adequate amounts, plays a direct role in muscle function and strength. Brief, safe sun exposure and appropriate supplementation when necessary can support optimal vitamin D levels. Lastly, consistency trumps intensity when building and maintaining leg strength. Small, sustainable actions performed regularly will always yield better results than occasional heroic efforts. Building these practices into your existing routines, rather than trying to overhaul your entire lifestyle, creates lasting change that supports lifelong leg strength. Thomas, who had found himself increasingly reliant on his cane, created simple routines that incorporated movement into his daily activities, standing during phone calls, taking a short walk after meals, performing 5 chair rises before watching television. These small but consistent actions gradually rebuilt leg strength that allowed him to attend his grandson's graduation ceremony without needing his cane, a goal that had motivated his efforts. Remember that progress in leg strength happens gradually, often imperceptibly at first. Trust the process and celebrate small improvements, climbing stairs with less fatigue, rising from chairs more easily, walking further before needing rest. These seemingly minor victories represent significant biological changes occurring within your leg muscles. By combining wise fruit choices with appropriate protein intake, adequate hydration, consistent gentle movement, quality sleep, stress management, and patience, you create the perfect environment for maintaining and rebuilding leg strength. Each element supports the others, creating an upward spiral of improving function and mobility. In our final segment, we'll bring everything together into a practical, step-by-step plan that you can begin implementing today to protect and enhance your leg strength for years of mobile, independent living. We've covered considerable ground in our journey towards stronger, more reliable legs. Now let's bring everything together into a clear, practical plan that you can begin implementing today. Remember, this isn't about sudden, dramatic changes, it's about gentle shifts that create powerful results over time. Let's start with a simple transition plan for adjusting your fruit consumption. Rather than eliminating all potentially problematic fruits at once, which might feel overwhelming, begin by replacing just one. Choose the fruit you consume most frequently from our list of 7 muscle-weakening culprits, and substitute it with one of our muscle-supporting alternatives. For instance, if you typically enjoy a banana with breakfast, try replacing it with a handful of berries or half an apple. If grapes are your usual afternoon snack, consider cherries or kiwi instead. This gentle transition allows your taste preferences to adjust gradually while immediately beginning to support your leg strength. Elizabeth had enjoyed orange juice with breakfast her entire life. Rather than eliminating this familiar ritual entirely, she began by diluting the juice with water, gradually reducing the amount while adding a small serving of fresh berries to her breakfast plate. This gradual transition felt manageable, and she soon found herself preferring the fresh fruit to the juice she had previously considered essential. Once you're comfortable with the first substitution, choose another fruit to transition, moving at a pace that feels sustainable for you. Within a month or two, you can completely transform your fruit consumption patterns without ever feeling deprived or overwhelmed. Remember that context matters too. Occasionally enjoying small amounts of the fruits we've identified as potentially problematic won't significantly impact your leg strength, particularly if consumed as part of a meal that includes protein. It's the regular, frequent consumption that creates the cumulative effect on muscle function. Now, let's create a simple daily routine that incorporates the various elements we've discussed for maintaining and building leg strength. These practices can be woven into your existing daily patterns rather than requiring dedicated exercise time, though if you enjoy formal exercise routines, by all means continue them. Upon waking, before rising from bed, take a moment to gently stretch your legs. Simple movements like pointing and flexing your feet, circling your ankles, and straightening and bending your knees help wake up the neural pathways that control your leg muscles. This gentle preparation makes your first steps of the day more stable and confident. With breakfast, include a palm-sized portion of protein alongside one of our muscle-supporting fruits. Perhaps eggs with a side of berries, or Greek yogurt topped with apple slices and walnuts. This combination provides the building blocks your leg muscles need for maintenance and repair. Throughout the morning, incorporate brief movement breaks. Just 30 seconds every hour can make a significant difference. Stand up from your chair, march gently in place for a few steps, or rise up onto your toes and lower back down several times. These brief movement snacks prevent the stiffness that can develop during periods of sitting. Harold, who spent most mornings reading or watching educational programs, began setting a gentle reminder to stand and move briefly every hour. This simple habit gradually improved his leg strength to the point where his afternoon walks became longer and more enjoyable, rather than a physical challenge to be endured. At midday, hydrate purposefully with a full glass of water, perhaps with a slice of lemon for flavor. This midday hydration boosts nutrient delivery to your leg muscles during afternoon activities. Include another palm-sized portion of protein with lunch, along with plenty of colorful vegetables that provide the micronutrients your muscles need for optimal function. In the afternoon, if possible, take a short walk outdoors. The combination of natural light, which supports vitamin D production, and gentle continuous movement provides multiple benefits for leg strength. Even 5 or 10 minutes yield significant advantages if done consistently. Incorporate simple strength movements into your afternoon activities. While waiting for the kettle to boil or during television commercial breaks, perform a few gentle chair rises or wall slides. These momentary strength challenges, scattered throughout your day, accumulate into substantial muscle maintenance without ever feeling like a strenuous workout. Margaret incorporated leg strengthening into her afternoon routine by standing and performing gentle knee bends while watching her favorite cooking shows. What began as 5 or 6 repetitions gradually increased to 15 or 20 as her strength improved, all without ever feeling like formal exercise. With dinner, include another serving of protein along with plenty of vegetables and perhaps another of our muscle-supporting fruits. Consider this the recovery meal that provides the nutrients your legs need to repair and strengthen overnight. Some find that a small protein-rich snack before bed, such as a few nuts or a small piece of cheese, further supports the muscle recovery that occurs during sleep. As evening approaches, begin reducing exposure to bright lights and electronic screens, preparing your body for quality sleep. The muscle recovery that happens during deep sleep represents one of the most powerful mechanisms for maintaining leg strength. A consistent bedtime routine signals your body to prepare for this crucial recovery period. Once a week, take a moment to notice improvements in your leg function. Perhaps you're rising from chairs more easily, climbing stairs with less fatigue, or walking further before needing to rest. Celebrating these small victories reinforces your motivation to continue these supportive practices. William began keeping a simple journal noting improvements in his leg strength. The entry carried groceries from car without resting halfway became a treasured milestone that motivated his continued attention to the practices that had restored this capability. If you experience setbacks, which are normal and to be expected, respond with compassionate patience rather than frustration. Progress in building leg strength rarely occurs in a straight line. The overall trend matters more than any temporary fluctuations. Remember too that social connection supports physical strength in surprising ways. Activities that combine social engagement with gentle movement, walking with friends, gardening clubs, dance classes designed for mature bodies, provide both the physical stimulus and the emotional well-being that support optimal leg strength. Grace joined a weekly walking group at her local park. Beyond the physical benefits of the walking itself, the laughter and connection with fellow walkers reduced her stress levels and made movement a joyful experience rather than a chore. Her leg strength improved more rapidly than when she had attempted to walk alone on a rigid schedule. As you implement these changes, maintain an attitude of experimentation and discovery. Notice which fruits make you feel most energetic. Pay attention to which movement practices bring you the most joy. Observe which sleep routines lead to the greatest morning vitality. This personal exploration allows you to refine your approach for maximum benefit. Remember that you're not merely avoiding weakness, you're building positive strength that expands your world. Strong legs mean more than just physical capability, they represent the freedom to continue living life on your terms. Every small choice you make supports this profound independence. You've accumulated decades of wisdom navigating life's complexities. Apply that same wisdom to caring for your leg strength. Trust your body's feedback, celebrate improvements without fixating on perfection, and view this journey as an act of self-respect rather than a response to limitation. The path to stronger legs begins with awareness, which you now possess, and continues with consistent small actions that honor your body's changing needs. You have everything required to maintain and rebuild the leg strength that supports your independent, vibrant life. I'd like to leave you with this final thought: your legs have carried you faithfully through countless experiences throughout your life. Every step of childhood exploration, every dance of celebration, every walk along beaches and through forests, every climb to magnificent vistas. By caring for your leg strength now, you honor that faithful service and ensure many more meaningful journeys in the years ahead. Thank you for your attention and engagement today. May your legs carry you strongly and confidently wherever your heart wishes to go.